Now, the other thing I should mention is I'm from Birmingham. Are there any Brummies in? Oh, okay. That's interesting, just sort of quite close to Birmingham now. One of the things one of the reasons I mentioned that I undermine relationships is because I think when I realised I was bisexual and I was sort of unusual slightly to the general public, it meant that I became by default a bit of a rebel because my identity was rebellious anyway because I'm bisexual. And so I started becoming quite rebellious in life in general. I was quite sort of rebellious at school, but not like sort of getting tattoos and things like that. I'd do things like I'd talk a lot in lessons, and I'd undermine the authority of the teachers. Like I hated having I'd have my shirt untucked all the time, and like teachers would come round and they'd go, "Tuck your shirt in." And I was like, who is some fat balding man to give me fashion tips? I mean, it's not right, is it? And I got this job when I was at school selling guttering, soffits and guttering. I still don't know what soffits are now, over the telephone. And basically, because of the way I speak, people thought that it was like all a bit euphemistic, essentially. So I think I'm like, "Would you want some guttering?" like that. And they think I was like this. So they put me on complaints, and I started to do things like. I would put in, I'd put in the address when they rang up with a complaint onto the guttering system, but I'd also put their address simultaneously into Google Maps for Street View, and when they said what their address was, I'd go, "Oh, is that the one with the red curtains?" How do you know I've got red curtains? I'm outside with my guttering tools. Just for fun. I obviously got fired. But I've got a fondness for Birmingham. We recently got rid of some terrorists, which is good. We got these two terrorists. They basically worked on the Stratford Road, and I lived near the Stratford Road in Birmingham. And part of me was like, I might know a celebrity. I was really excited. I might know some terrorists. This is genuinely true. A guy called Irfan Khalid. He was arrested. I think he's been charged a couple of weeks ago. He was planning on blowing up the Birmingham New Street train station, which they were trying to regenerate anyway, so it probably helped. But he said that it was revenge for everything. Right, not specific, just everything. Pocket tissues, revenge, yes, revenge. Be specific if you're going to do revenge for something, like you're going to blow something up, like, you know, have revenge for that, but everything's a bit much, isn't it? And the way that they funded their terrorism, this is genuinely true, they had a car boot sale on the Stratford Road. Now, fuck knows what they sell at a terrorist car boot sale to raise money to blow up Birmingham. I don't know, old rucksacks, the board game Risk, with Israel scratched out of it. They had, genuinely true, they had cupcakes at the terrorist car boot sale. I love the idea that some terrorist has been like cooking cupcakes, putting icing on, just saying, "Yes to the West" on a cupcake. It really makes me happy. But I go down the Stratford Road quite a lot because I've got a Nando's there, and I'm a huge Nando's fan. And I was, the Stratford Road, if you know it, you probably don't. It's a very straight length of road through Shirley, and it's got traffic lights every few hundred metres. And I stopped at one set of traffic lights, and this car of 4 Asian lads pulled up next to me, and the driver just went, "Batty boy," like that to me. Now, I don't know why he thought I was batty, or how he'd made that decision, but I took off my diamond-studded sunglasses and turned down the Judy Garland CD, and I wanted to say something, but the traffic lights turned to green, so they sped off like absolute lads. In a Toyota Prius as well. I mean, it's hardly gangster, is it? So I sort of started to follow behind, but well, that sounded a bit wrong, didn't it? To the side, and I could see that there was a telephone number on the back of the car, and the next traffic lights had turned to red, so I was going to be presented with them again. And so I jotted the telephone number down, because I've got hands-free on my car, and I pulled up alongside, and I said, "Whose telephone number is this?" And one of the other lads in the car went, "Oh, he's going to ring your dad," because it's not his car. I mean, everyone thinks a gangster in Birmingham, but they drive dad's car. And so I started ringing it. He's like, "No, man, don't ring it, don't ring it." And a gentleman came over the phone and went, "Hello, this is Mr. Batty," just for fun. "Hello, this is Mr. Batty. I'm interested in buying the car I've seen for sale. I've just seen it on the Stratford Road." And he went, "What?" He said it was in the library. And all the other lads in the car went, "Oh!" like that, because they don't show loyalty to anybody. I mean, it's like Man United fans that just go whoever's winning, basically. And I was like, "Yeah, and is it going to include a clean? Because I think he was kissing his boyfriend inside." Oh! Then we had to go to lights turn green. I went off and I just cancelled the call. When we pulled up next, he was like, "Oh, Batty boy, Batty boy." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm Batty. What are you going to do about it?" And he went, "Oh, I'm going to bang you out." And I was like, "Sounds fabulous." I win. But I am a horrible mischief, particularly in shops, because I get very annoyed with the authority of shops as well. There's a lot of bullshit rules that you get when you go shopping that just don't mean anything. I went to Subway recently. I love that their slogan is "Where winners eat," because you only need to look at the people in Subway to know they're quite a fluid definition of the word winner, don't they? Most of the people in there can't win cast of their own fucking kids, so I don't know they're winning. But I ordered a salad and a bottle of water, and I got to the counter, and the girl said, "Oh, there's a deal on. If you get a cookie with this, the whole thing is cheaper than if you didn't have the cookie." And I was like, "Well, I don't want a cookie because I'm being healthy, hence I'm having a salad. So can I not have the cookie but still have the deal?" And she went, "No, you have to have the cookie. Otherwise, when I count the cookies later, there'll be a discrepancy." That's a big word for someone in Subway, isn't it? And I was like, "Well, I don't want this cookie. What am I going to do with this cookie?" And she's like, "Why don't you give it to somebody in the street?" I'm like, "Who does that? Do you want a cookie?" I was like, "I don't want this cookie. What am I going to do with this cookie?" I was like, "Do you want this cookie?" And she went, "Oh, are you sure?" I was like, "I've never been sure of anything in my life. I don't have the cookie." And she's like, "What sort of cookie would you like?" I was like, "What sort of cookie would you like?" And she's like, "I can't decide, you have to decide for me." Another bullshit rule. So I was like, "Should I guess?" I was like, "Do you like Smarties?" And she went, "No, I don't like Smarties." It's like, "Do you like white chocolate chips?" She went, "Yeah, I quite like white chocolate chips." So I said, "I'll have a white chocolate chip cookie, please." And she went, "Oh, good choice." And then she tried to give it to me, and I was like, "Why are you giving it to me? It's yours." Like, and she said, "Oh no, you have to give it back to me as a gift, that's the law." I was like, "That's not the law." And then I paid for it, and I just thought, "You've wasted my time here." So I left with the cookie. So furious.